This is another in the Memex Automation Solution video series specifically about ERP integration and how it works, and we're going to demonstrate it actually working. Here we see the diagram and we link our main software service to your ERP systems. We can import data, and we can also export data at end of job and end of shift. And obviously it's available throughout the complete systems for a link to your ERP in a bisynchronous way. In the data collection model, we see here AXConfig is the main tool that drives it. ERP connector is the link to the MES ERP system, and you can then collect in through and then send it right down to the machine. And it's bisynchronous, going two ways, ending up at the ERP system. Here we look at our main dashboard, and as our typical starting point, we look at machine 207. We look at the detail of machine 207. We see that we're running a particular work order, 12345-12. We see the machine itself it's running. The work order is there. We see that's actually up in our job queue, so we understand exactly what we're working with. So that's currently what's actually operating. Let's take a look at our ERP system, which is an Excel spreadsheet. And we see here that the ERP importing routine actually has a scan directory and an export directory. So we go to our Excel spreadsheet, and which comes with documentation on a full flow chart and how the system works. We actually provide you then the job queues, and we pull this up here. And here's a set of standard jobs that I'll run on machine 207. And see, these are the same ones that are in fact loaded in the job queue that we were just looking at. As we drill down a little bit further, there's a job queue. There's the same particular jobs, products, descriptions, details, date required, parts required. All that is an input in the Excel spreadsheet. Very simply, well defined also in the manuals. Notice date number 11/30. So it's November 30th. So what we're going to do is change that November 30th, which we previously entered, and say, you know what, that date's got to be September 30th. So we make that physical change in our Excel spreadsheet. Remember, this is in the ERP system, and it's not in the main Memex AXOE system yet until we go through the importing. So I hit the click job queue button to write that particular file. Note the ERP imported area on this right hand side. You're going to see here a file flash through, and it gets scanned and picked up by the system automatically. Gives us a dialog saying it's okay and it's done. We'll come back to that later, and I'll show you how it's actually entered in the system and it's actually there. What it created was comma delimited files and of the fields that need to be done. So it's very simple, and that's what any ERP system has to do, is create the same comma delimited files. Again, well described in our documentation. And here we take a look further at the Excel spreadsheet. We have many other types of tools. This is the product standards that have to be input, and you need really just the work order and the product standards to run. Work order refers to the product. Product is obviously defined in the product standards. We also have a run now file. So if you your ERP system wants to run files directly, you can do that. There's part counts, operator lists, and other types of data input areas that can be automatically input into the system from your ERP system, optionally if you want to do so. You see we have an export file where we export the data, and here is where we regularly export the data at end of job and end of shift. So these jobs have actually completed. You'll see there's a number here, and that's just for the date of the 17th. And we look here, we pull up that particular file, and in terms of edit it, take a look at it. If you see carefully, you see the comma delimiter file that's been exported by our system as clearly defined in our export data schema, as then puts together in our manual and documentation. So the ERP system needs to now just pick up that information and then feed that into their system to be able to accept it. And we see here the description of the job queue editor. We see that there's a number of jobs that are there. Those are the ones that we updated and changed. And note that what 22345-14, the date has been updated to September 30th, as we'd asked to do. And there are other jobs here. We scroll down. These are all the same ones that was in the Excel spreadsheet, my ERP system, to make it work and run. So there you go, ERP integration with Memex.